Hello and welcome to Papa Sunny Acres. I'm Bill, and today's video I'm going over the Hive Lift 3.0 in a little bit more detail for those of you who are building your own. I'll share some of the things that I've done here, and you can take them and use them or improve them. And I'd like to hear back from you if you've got better ways to do this. I'd love to hear it and incorporate it into the Hive Lift. Anyways, start with the carrier is removed by 4 bolts here. I've got them loosened up already, and it takes the carrier arms off of the carrier, and on the back side of the carrier arm is a 1/4 inch stove bolt and a 1/4 inch inside diameter and 3/4 inch outside diameter bearing assembly. And I'll try to show it to you here a little bit closer. The bearing assembly is here. I've got a nut on it and cut flush. And then there's I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's a small 1/4 inch washer, flat washer that keeps the bearing assembly away from the carrier here. So I've got 2 of those that are on there. And I guess before I do this, there's adjustments. I've got some bolts welded onto the back side of this that adjust, and you can adjust these arms in and out. This is a 1/8 inch thick, 3/4 inch tubular steel welded onto an 1.5 inch by 1/8 inch flat bar. And then this is just a standard door hinge that I've welded a stove bolt on the back just to keep it from flopping completely over. And then on the bottom side of the hinge here, I've added an 1/8 inch piece of flat bar, and just to give it a little bit more weight to return to its catch position. And so you can move these out for the width of a honey super, or you can move them in to grab them from the back or front side of a honey super. And I'll show you on this carrier when I get it off. I've got a cable hook here that attaches it to the winch, and then this bolt here is just off of a heavy logging chain that I've got. I just cut a link off of it and cut it a little bit more than halfway down and welded it onto the top of this. And then on these carriers, these are the arms that, or the tightener to tighten that arm into the position that you want it. I just welded a nut on here with a drilled hole through the steel, and took care of that. And then on the lift itself, I've got some 1/2 inch flexible electrical conduit that I took. I've got a cable that runs from the winch motor up to the switch to raise and lower. So I've got it where you push up on the switch and it goes up, and push down on the switch and it moves down. And then I believe I've got a little bit of overkill here. I know I've got overkill on the winch here. It's a 4,500 pound winch, a Champion power equipment. I don't see the model number on it, but it's plenty to do what you got here. And then I've got a lithium 12 volt
20 amp battery that I've got on here, and I've just welded in brackets here to hold the battery in place, and then put some foam in there just to keep it from tearing the battery up. And then the wheels are 12-inch pneumatic wheels off of wheelbarrow or dolly or something. I just got them at Home Depot, I believe. This is a 1/2-inch all thread that goes through, and then I've got a 1/2-inch piece of copper, because these wheels were 1/2-inch or 5/8 OD on the outside. I'll give you some dimensions on this. The carrier width of it is 10 7/8, I believe. Yeah, the width of the carrier is 10 7/8, and then it is 25 5/8. And I don't think any of these numbers are real critical, but you want to make this the same width as your bars that it rises up on. And these are just unistrut, and they're 72.5 inches tall. The unistrut itself is less than that, because I've got I think it's a 3/4 by 1.25 or 1.5 tubular steel up here and on the bottom that tie it together. It's all welded together through there. And I found out that if you on your arms, if they're about a 1/2 inch wider than your box is, that it slips on easier and slips off easier without hanging up on there. And then as we go down on the, well, basically I've got arms here that I welded in, and I've got them, looks like they're about 14 inches center from the top down, and they're 25.5 inches widthwise. Kind of matches, I think, yeah, matches up with the wheelbase on there. I know I find myself sometimes grabbing up here, but you got to make sure if you do that you don't do it while you're raising or lowering boxes. You don't want to get your hand caught in between the carrier and the frame here. On the wheelbase, I've got from this one ties onto the bottom of the carrier, and as it sits right now, it really balances out pretty good when you're lifting supers off and then putting B escapes in, if you do that. Otherwise, it works good to lift them off and transport them, but it'll balance out. You don't have to hold it. But these bottom pieces are 3/4 tubular steel. They're 15 1/4 and tie onto the front. And this is unistrut down here as well. And this is this is 7/8 inch by 1 5/8 unistrut. I think you can get it at Home Depot or anywhere there. I got the winch motor and the battery from Amazon, along with the bearings that I used on there. I've got a piece of 3-inch flat bar here, 1/8 inch thick, that I used to mount the motor on, and I wished I'd had a piece of 4-inch, because the motor mounts on there just fine, but the holes are right on the edges of the steel instead of being through the hole clear through the steel. I also have welded some V plates down here that tie onto here and here, and it's 3-inch steel, so it's 3 inches back this way, and then I just made it to where it matched up with that and bolted it on, and that keeps that I've got a hole through that 1/8 inch steel plate that ties this 3/8 all thread, and then I've got a nut on both sides of the plate here, on both ends of the base, and that keeps this base from pushing in or pulling out. And then I've got the nut washer on the outside of that as well. The width of this base is 17.5, and I don't know if I said this, but these are 17 inches long, and I just cut them at angles. I don't know if you can see it here, but I cut them at an angle to fit into the unistrut here. And again, this is 3/4 inch tubular steel, and it worked well in the video. I was just moving my hives around this winter and did give it a shot, and that was on a previous video. I guess that's about all I have for that. I hope if you're willing to try, I'm not that mechanically inclined myself, but I do know how to mold a little bit and put it together. I'd be happy to answer any questions you'd have. And if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. Get it out to more viewers. And I just wanted to show you another thing I've got, been doing this winter. And I've got, over here is an rear axle. I've got a F100, it's a 1956 straight six truck that I'm restoring. And again, I don't have I've never done this before, but I'm willing to try. And anyway, I'm excited to keep putting this back together. Get the leaf springs, everything on it, the bushings and all are having to be punched out and new ones put in because they're ovaled out. Anyways, hope you like what you see, and until next time, take care, and remember, Papa's Sunny Acres. Thank you. Bye.